I don't know what's going on. Don't know what's going on, but those of you who are watching it on YouTube, you are the lucky ones this evening. You are the lucky ones indeed to get to join us, because without Twitter, it's a whole new world with a new fantastic point of view, with no one to tell us no or where to go or say we're only dreaming, because it's a whole new world. And let me share this whole new world with you. Charlotte, how are you this evening, Charlotte?
I'm loving that intro. It's one of my favorites. So yeah, I'm really good after that intro, but especially good as well. I know it's not the National League podcast this today, but Dale got a 90 plus 1 minute winner, so that's always good. But yeah, I'm really happy to be here. How are you?
Oh, Dad, you know, I'm still upset about this Twitter thing. I don't understand what's going on, but we'll sort it.
I'll see if I can post the link on YouTube on here and just say we're having difficulties. Leave it with me.
Leave out. Charlotte will save the day. And Rebecca, here again. Well, I mean, football aside, put that on there. How are you this evening?
I'm very good, thank you. Yeah, football aside, we'll ignore that. Yeah, yeah, very well, thank you. How are you?
Do you know, I'm just like a Bobby Dazzler. I am. Like, if I smiled wider, my teeth would just fall out. But I'm very pleased to say we've got somebody who's not here before, a virgin experience. I'm sure there are many left in life, but it is Joe. Joe is joining us this evening from Albion Obsessed Podcast. How are you this evening, Joe?
Hello, mate. Yeah, all good. Good to be here. Only just finished celebrating that last minute winner. But yeah, loving life.
And in the chat as well, we've got Graham. Good evening. Hope you were doing well. And Jen and Spenny fan Chris. And if anybody else does come in, because like we do normally, we have quite a nice little Twitter form. I'm really upset about that. I'm on it, and it says we've already subscribed, so God knows what's happening on that. But look, there's Simon as well. Good evening, Simon and Heather. And we'll touch a little bit on Bournemouth for you this evening, Heather. So don't worry. But seeing as we've got him here, we've got Joe here, and it was a result that made me smile. I certainly thoroughly enjoyed that. Brighton 2, Manchester United 1. Joe, how did that game make you feel?
Well, the title of our post-game podcast was Death, Taxes and Beating Manchester United. Those are the three certainties of life. And we've beaten Manchester United 5 out of 6 times in the Premier League the last times we played them. So it's becoming quite the occurrence. And we're absolutely loving that. What I say to new audiences or new podcasts that I go on is that 28 years ago, Brighton were 1 goal and 1 point away from not existing. So to be beating Manchester United in the Premier League, sitting, I know obviously after 2 games, but sitting in the top 4 alongside the likes of Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, it's still a dream. And the fact that we had European football last year, we're just loving it. And everything positive that comes out of this club is just... It's just the best, and we've got the best owner. We've spent nearly the most amount of money this transfer window. If a couple more signings get over the line in the next couple of days, we will go top above Chelsea, which is just nuts. Thank you, Chelsea, for the money, by the way. Really appreciate
That's lovely,
that.
Isn't it?
It's great. But yeah, honestly, mate, we're loving life, and people probably get sick to death of the happy Brighton fan that sits there saying, oh, how bad we had it and how good we have it now. But we're going to keep bashing that drum because it's dreamland.
It is. I mean, just quickly in the chat as well, we've been joined by Sean, and he's saying a special good evening to you, Joe. Saying welcome to the crazy gang. And Judy's in the chat as well. Judy, hope you are doing well. We are fine. But I mean, yeah, I like the Brighton story. I think where they've been, where they've come from, the fact that they're not like massive, big money, big splashy, cashy club. And the way it's set up, like you said, it's so well run. I mean, as one of the rare clubs in the Premier League that is well run, I mean, how does that feel when you see just things just work? They just seem to tick along behind the background that we see from a distance.
Yeah, it all comes from the owner, Tony Bloom, who took over in 2009. He became chairman because he was the one funding the building of the American Express Stadium or community back then. And from there, it's just been a barrage of success. It's not been without its troubles. We've had a couple of seasons where we've had to take a few steps back to go forward. But when you've got an owner who's a fan with the money to back you to get you to where he wants you to be, is the best possible sort of equation, if you like, and it comes out with the best answer. And I think a lot of clubs will be looking at Brighton now to say, what is that model? How do we replicate it? The answer is you kind of don't replicate it, because Tony Bloom works his way with the algorithms that he gets via his company Star Lizard. And he's always probably 4, 5, 6 steps ahead of everybody else. So I think that's why clubs have tried to replicate Brighton, Chelsea, but they just can't do it to the effect that we've been doing it. We've set ourselves up for the success. It doesn't come with spending money. It doesn't come with, buying the best possible people, like taking managers, taking backroom staff, taking players. It all comes from the one man, and that is the one man of Tony Bloom. So we're just thankful to have him at the club and to have him sort of navigating his way through the mess that is modern day football, really. And Paul Barber as well was a massive asset to us as well, who's our deputy chairman. And he's been absolutely incredible for us. So yeah, we're loving it.
I mean, Tony, but he's also doing it at Royal Union Saint Galloise as well in the Belgium League, and he's doing the same thing. They're sort of building a club up, surely steady Eddie, and then a well-run club. So he's very wise man. But in regards to the game, let's hit on the game then a little bit. Danny Welbeck, he just loves. I think it was something like his 100th goal against Man United since he's left. I mean, he's about 84 now. I mean, how many more seasons do you think you're going to get a game out of him?
I don't know. He ages like fine wine, Danny Welbeck. He's one of those players that is a true professional. Is a guy that you want in and around your squad. And there's been a few Brighton fans that have said, he's not good enough anymore. We shouldn't be giving him a new 2-year deal at the end of last season, but he keeps scoring really important goals for us. And I'm a Brighton fan that's always loved to have Danny Welbeck at this football club. If you told me 10 years ago Brighton would sign Danny Welbeck, James Milner, Adam Lallana, people like that, I know people have maybe called Brighton the England retirement home a little bit. But if they're going to put in performances like James Milner did at the weekend, like Danny Welbeck continues to do for us, absolutely they can come here and play for this football club. And yeah, Danny Welbeck's fantastic. Such a good guy as well.
I mean, because I was torn between in my fantasy football league, Welbeck and Pedro. Actually, ironically, they were the two I wasn't quite sure which one to go for. So I went for Pedro, which, I mean, worked this week. I mean, 95th minute. I mean, was that must have been exciting.
It's one of those games where we rode our luck, and Rebecca will know we rode our luck against Everton as well last week, and we scored at really important moments. But I think the United game was a little bit different, where obviously we were very lucky with Xerxes sliding in to make that Garnacho goal offside. Rashford scored, and it was little bit offside. So I think we're just really lucky in moments where we've had to pull through as a team and haven't been playing incredible. We probably haven't been playing the way that people expect Brighton to play. But obviously that's just bedding in a new manager, a lot of new players, and seeing how this style of football compares with Roberto De Zerbi we had last season. But it's a different brand. It's intense. It's, we want to score a lot more goals. De Zerbi was very much possession based. We scored a lot under him, but it was sort of like really slow build up. Whereas the Hertzler team just seemed to be, as soon as they get the ball, 2-3 passes, they're at the other end of the pitch. So yeah, the game went favorably for us, obviously, and we had to stay in there and score, obviously, in the 95th minute to win the game. I would have been happy with the draw. I think it was going towards a draw, and I was sort of thinking, yeah, I mean, win your first game and then draw at home to United. It's still a decent start for Hertzler. But yeah, we had to make some real sort of moments in that game, or get through some moments in that game to make sure that we had that opportunity in the 95th minute to win it.
And then top of the league after 2 games. I mean, I mentioned you had 84-year-old Danny Welbeck, 12-year-old manager. I mean, how did you feel when he's appointed, and how are you feeling at the moment based on what the limited games that you've seen so far?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people have mentioned his age enough, have they? I think it's every single press conference. He's like, oh, you're a 31-year-old manager. How are you dealing with that? He's not a young coach. He's been coaching for 10 years. He is an experienced coach, and he has got the dressing room. A lot of people are saying, oh, there's a lot of players older than him, but they all seem to respect him, and they all seem to listen to what he wants for this club. And if you've got James Milner leading the press at 38 years old, then you know every if you got him setting the standards, Minter's got to be running, Matoma's got to be running. These young guys have to match James Milner at 38 years old, and yeah, he's got the dressing room. How long that will be for, obviously, who knows? As long as we're successful, you know, people will follow him. So I think, yeah, small sample size at the moment, but looking good so far.
I love Milner. I'd love to cuddle him. I'd love a cuddle with James Milner. I bet that's
great,
lovely. I bet if it would feel solid because he's in good shape, but it would also, I think, it would feel comforting at the same time. He looks like a solid lover, you know.
There you go.
If you'd like to educate me, James, at any point, if you're watching, you know, just DM me. I'll fly you over my address. I mean, and Heather Cook sort of feels that Bournemouth is trying to be the same sort of club as well, and also does AFC Bournemouth Germany. Nice, thank you for joining us again this week. They said it's a club that Bournemouth are looking at to try and emulate. And Jen saying everyone needs a James Milner hug, and I agree. Everybody does. I was going to make a really obscene comment then, but I'm not going to hold that one. Eddie Howe was 31 when he Acne manager. That's meant to be Kane. There's nothing to do with his skin complexion. But that is age doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter. And age doesn't matter. Charlotte, a woman who just gets better as you get older now.
What are you trying to say? I'm not that old.
I just say it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Manchester United, though, frustrating game for them. Do you think they did anything wrong, or do you think they were just outdone by a plucky Brighton?
I thought, obviously, if they were unlucky, don't get me wrong, though, I thought it was right. Like, the offside was right and stuff. I know a few people have obviously said, oh, it was so close, it should have stood. No, if it's offside, it's offside, no matter how close it is. Like, and I do get it's frustrating, but if it was the other way around, if it was the other way around, they'd want it offside as well. Say if the shoe was on the other foot and it was Brighton who went and scored, they'd want it offside. So it stands. I felt like there was a lot of similarities to last season with Manchester United. Rashford, I think they need to drop Rashford now. I think you need to completely drop him. He needs to earn his place back in the team. I think Garnacho and Diallo obviously need to start. I know a few people were quite criticising Mason Mount, but I actually thought when Mason Mount played that game, I thought he did an all right job. I thought he was one of the best players in the first half, to be fair, and that's not just me defending him because I do like Mason Mount. I thought he controlled the game quite.
He thinks he's so pretty.
No, I thought he controlled. So, you always put me off. He controlled it quite well, and and he did his job quite well. But obviously, I think he's now injured. Shock. How many times has he been injured since he signed? But yeah, I thought it was very similar to last season, very frustrating with Manchester United. Bruno as well. Some of the decisions with Ten Hag's in-game management, I thought was a bit questionable. Again, his substitutions were a bit questionable, especially taking Bruno off and bringing McTominay on. I think
he's selling.
I think you should be able to take these players off, like your Rashford, do deserve to be taken off, your Brunos. But I thought Bruno, just before that, was had a good chance, and obviously it was part of the Diallo goal as well, before obviously then he got taken off, and I thought Bruno was a bit more of a threat. So I just think with Erik ten Hag, it's the same frustrating things that it was last season, and I can see United fans getting frustrated with him again this season. And I don't know what to expect with Manchester United, because part of me felt, even though the last two games hasn't been spectacular with United, I can see slight differences, and I can see them better, like the way they control the games and certain things. But then I just think from a Ten Hag point of view as well, it's getting more frustrating, and you can't really use the same excuses with Ten Hag, because a lot of these players are his own players now. I think apart from Rashford, are all of them pretty much his players.
And he does want to play Rashford
and he wants to play him all the time, and you can't do that. I'm sorry. When you've got Garnacho there, you need to play him now. You really do need to play him. Obviously, Højlund's injured as well. Xerxes, I think, needs to start, to be fair to him, next game, because when he's come on, he looks a bit more of a threat. But I do think it's the same. It's the same again. And I know with Manchester United, it is a rebuild, and you are going to get frustrated if you're a United fan, and it's not going to come quickly and overnight, because it's a massive rebuild now, from the ground to obviously the structure itself. And I feel like we are going along things in the right way now, and it's a bit more positive. But I feel like on the pitch and with Erik ten Hag, it's the same as what it was last season, and I don't know how long United fans will be able to put up with that now.
No, I agree. I mean, and people in the chat as well is agreeing. I mean, Graham was saying he didn't get that, should have been allowed. Offside is offside. Jen concurs, Rashford isn't it right now. Heather thinks Mason Mount is also a babe.
I didn't say he was a babe, by the way. Josh just put those words into my mouth.
I did. I made the implication. There's an innuendo in there. I'm not saying that either. Rashford is becoming a liability, Sean says as well. Got all this chat coming in. The defending for Brighton's winner was shocking. And that was another thing for me. Martinez, the greatest defender known to man, according to all United fans, defending. I don't know what he was defending, really. There's a bloke next to him who thought, I'm not going to defend the man. I'm just going to stand in space.
Even Brighton's first goal as well, I thought Maguire, and I'm not just calling Maguire because obviously I've stuck up for him numerous times, but I think he was scared of maybe scoring an own goal, and he let it kind of slide, and instead of going for it, and it's one of them, it's a 50-50. You either clear it or you score an own goal, and he just let it go. And I think they should be putting the bodies more on the line, Manchester United, and it's silly things like that what are happening a lot, and it's just the same, isn't it?
And it's always, I mean, it's the players they've signed as well. I've got to be honest, of all injury concerns, I mean, like De Ligt is a big injury concern. Yoro, Real Madrid thought he was an injury prone, which is why they didn't go for him.
Yeah, I do get that as well, but it's like, I think he was quite good. Who they've signed? Is it what's he called?
Mazrui or whatever his name is. Do you know?
Yeah, I thought
anybody
he's done
else
well
know?
The past few games.
Anybody can have a go.
Mazraoui, is it?
Wow.
Yeah,
that's it. Wow.
I thought he did quite well, to be fair. I think it's just a thing at Manchester United. I don't think it's the fact that we're signing all these players. I think once they go to Manchester United, I don't know what's going on in the medical room, but it's like Luke Shaw. You've got Luke Shaw there. I think he just takes the mick out of him, to be honest, because he was fine for England, played the final, and now he's back injured again. It's like even with Mason Mount now, I think Chelsea really did cash in on him, and I'm a Mason Mount fan, but it's just ridiculous the amount of injuries he's getting. But at the same time, is it because of how many games everyone's playing? And I know people go on about, it's the jobs and this and that, and they're getting paid all this money, but the impact it must have on the bodies of all these footballers, it's horrendous. They're not getting a break. Even the ones who haven't performed at international level and in the Euros, they're getting like 3-4 weeks maximum, and then they're back in at intense like training. And you think of them the effect it'll have on the bodies. And I know everyone's like, oh, but they're getting paid this and that. Yeah, I know that. But at the same time, there is a lot of injuries happening across all the leagues, not just the Premier League.
And I think in Man United, I mean, something in fairness for Cristiano Ronaldo said the training facility is bad. The training pitches and the facility, and that can have a big impact, which is why Liverpool invested in this. I mean, Graham doesn't think United played bad and said another day they could win it, but it's fine margins. Nick believes Man United, new players, same last season issues. Doesn't think they're top 4 material. Neither do I this season. We got Russ has joined us. Good evening, Russ. And GT is saying she agrees with Charlotte. Garnacho and Xerxes need to start. And, don't play a false 9. that would help when you haven't got a false 9. And Silk's given a bit of love for Brighton. They've adjusted their transfer model for higher price players. Be interesting to see how much of a step up they can make. And they've looked good so far. But top 7 is a tough ask. I think they'll be kicking there or thereabouts personally. And Russ is joining us. Good evening, Russ. And I'm just check. I'm sort of up to date. And it's just nice to see as a Liverpool fan, United not doing spectacularly well, but it was an entertaining game. And Russ is talking about the burnout. He's worried that Saka will be burnt up by the time he's 27. Jen is agreeing, especially when he's in the Euros, they never get a break. Look at Jude now; he's injured for the first time in a long time. And someone say there's still humans, and people forget that. And it's true. I mean, and that's why I think like pace of game as well makes a big difference. You look at the teams that are big, high pace, high energy teams, the ones that get all the injuries. And who knew that common sense and logic was a real thing and that can apply even in football? Mind blowing. And we'll see. This is Man United Liverpool next week.
I hope it does now, just so I will come on the podcast and laugh at you because you spoke too soon.
I would laugh at myself if we get beaten by that Man United
Rashford as well.
I know. Can you imagine, Marcus? I didn't know he played football anymore. I just thought he was there. And Paul's asking what Charlotte's top 4 is this season. I'm trying to remember what we come up with.
I had Manchester City to win it, shock. Then I had Arsenal. Then I think I had Liverpool, and I think I actually had Manchester. That's last season.
I know. There we are. That's your top 6.
United.
The United in the top 4.
Why are there no Brightons there, please? Come on, people.
I don't know. Where did everyone say Brighton were going to be? I think I put Brighton. Where did I put Brighton? I put Brighton 9th. I think Charlotte 12th. Oh, Charlotte. Ugh, 12th.
To be fair, I do jinx teams, so hopefully I've jinxed Brighton and they finish really high up.
Is that 15th?
15th. 15th. Where did you put him, Rebecca?
I had him 11th, but I don't think I had anything to go off when you see Everton.
I think honestly, anywhere between 12th and 7th is like something that I would agree with, because like when a new manager comes in, and obviously yes, being 31 years old, it is like he's unproven. So I do sort of understand why people would predict us to finish
9th. I said, mate, I'm on the train. I'm on the Brighton train. Troop troop. And I'd be sure to think Man United in the top 10. Blasphemy. He's blaspheming at the end there. But I mean, I tell you, let's move on to some other blasphemy at the moment. Rebecca, Spurs 4, Everton. Spurs 4, Everton 0. How did that one make you feel?
Do we have to sort that one? Can we not go back to the Olympics? Yes, they finished, but I prefer to speak about that again. No, I mean, heading into it, I didn't feel that confident, especially when you have Dice saying we only had 14 players available. And it's like, you don't want to keep saying it, but injuries are a big issue for us. And also the suspension of Ashley Young, which... Can we have it a bit longer, please? Because I don't know. Back.
Oh no, he's sitting at home eating his worth of originals, talking about back in my day.
Are you sending thank you cards to Karu Matoma?
Yeah. So with Ashley Young being out, it meant we had no right backs available because Seamus Coleman's still injured. Nathan Patterson is also injured. So we had to rely on our, I think, 19-year-old who started breaking through in our under-21 side, Roman Dixon. So for him to make his not only Premier League debut, but also Everton first team debut against Tottenham is huge. But I think that's also annoyed some fans in the fact that he said Jake O'Brien and Lindstrom, he's not starting because they've got no Premier League experience. But he's happy to then throw in a 19-year-old right back. So it's a bit like that. I think that's angered quite a few fans again because we had Michael Keane starting. So it's one of them. It's like, I think every Everton fan will agree. Michael Keane, he did well under Carlo Ancelotti for a bit. I think he was one of the only centre-backs we had available at that time. But it's now time that we do start seeing the appearance of Jake O'Brien, because the only way he's going to get Premier League experience is to play him in the Premier League. I mean, it just went from bad to worse from the start. I think that's the only thing you can say. There was mistakes at the back where we were able to defend them, but we just didn't. There were so many times where they're just yelling, just put a foot in, do anything, but they just didn't. And it was one of them where I think Dom was running, trying to clear a ball, passed it straight forward to them. And it's just like, why is this happening? This isn't what we've had in a while. It's like their first goal, defendable but not savable. I mean, incredible strike, but... And then, yeah, as that comment said, Pickford just... Why we're playing out from the back again? We haven't had this back four ever, but we've decided let's do an Everton thing and play it out from the back because we like trying something new midway through a match against Tottenham. So I think it's Keane passes it to Pickford, heavy touch from Pickford, and then Son just says thank you and hits it in net. I mean, it's either Pickford lets him just run off with it or he fouls him and gets sent off. So I think it was one of the... Either way, they were scoring, I think. We just couldn't get into it. And I think it comes to summer when we introduced Lindstrom into the match in the 57th minute. That was our first shot on target after the 57th minute. And we only had one shot on target from that point. Third goal, conceding from a corner. I mean... the defence, what happened? They just show how much we rely on Jared at this point. Because I don't think we've conceded 7 goals in 2 matches in a while, and that's saying something when we didn't win for 3 months last season. The fourth goal, we were caught on the counter-attack. Dwight McNeil tried to pass it into the box, found a Tottenham shirt. It's like we couldn't find anyone who played for Everton or in an Everton shirt to pass to. We did have Roman Dixon. He did do very well to stay with Van de Ven, I think it was. He is a rapid right back for us. He is. I think he's gonna be a good one, but throwing him in the deep end against Tottenham isn't what we should have done. But then that did leave Son just open on the left because we had no one to cover him because Michael Keane had gone wandering again. So nothing worked and nothing happened. It's second match in, and I know we're only second, like 2 matches in, things could change. I was looking at last season. I think we got 1 point in the first 5 matches. So I think that we could be following a similar situation as last season. So I don't really want to do this again. I really don't. It's just...
She's sad. Sad, Rebecca. Do you know what? I love this comment. DCL 1 shot at goal in 2 games. No wonder the lad wants to leave. He gets better supply from Amazon. That to go on in the chat. There's Sam. Hola, amigos. Hasn't seen any football, but Lamine Yamal is massive over. We needed somebody to pronounce the Man United right back. So we missed you then. But I mean, you got mixed bag in the chat here. We've got Russ is asking, is this year Everton go down? Followed by still thinking Everton's going to turn it around. with Newcastle Bournemouth up next. Dixon Armstrong, good youth prospects, but Dyche has shown himself to be a stubborn hypocrite and needs to take responsibility. Russ is hoping you don't go down. I mean, Beck, are you concerned at this age, or is it too much like early doors, or do you think there is a time to worry?
For me, I think it's too early. As I said, like last season, 1 point in the first 5. And it's also a case of we didn't win for 3 months. We had a 10 points deduction and we still stayed up. So I don't think this is the worst we've ever done, to be honest. And then if you throw in the Rafa Benitez era, I think we're actually doing pretty well. It's just one of them where I think everyone will know Everton fans can turn quite quick. And we've already started to see that with...
Yeah. I was going to ask you about the Paddington Station incident.
Yeah. And it's like I have been asked quite a few times, like, do I think Dyche should be sacked and things like that? But for me, I don't think so. As like we said, we're way too early into the season and he just needs to make a change. And I think that's all we need to see. It's if you bring in the likes of O'Brien, you bring in Lindstrom and DA, that's 3 of our summer signings that haven't started. So I think that's what's annoying fans more than anything, is the fact that we're not playing the players that we can be. And then it's like at the train station, it's just, I don't even think you can call them fans at this point because it's just not acceptable. It's one of them, it's a tough point. But to just start hurling abuse at the players, I mean, I don't think Hove gets helped by going over to him and looks like he's going to square up to him. I don't think that's help matters. And then you had Mopé doing his tweet afterwards where he's like, of all people, it had to be Mopé to post it.
It's because he's doing what I didn't even realise he was still there. I had to look at the fact that he's still on your bench showing up there. I mean, Sean saying he was looking for Everton highlights, but it came with the 4 ever message, not found. I mean, I sort of fan reaction. I have sort of mixed bag in being able to confront players in a fashion. I think there's a ways and a means to do it. And, you know, hurling abuse at somebody is. I think there's a way. The way in me, I'm interested. I mean, Sean, what are you're much more rational and level-headed than I am on the whole. I mean, there's a balance. I think fans should be allowed to voice their frustration and concerns, but at the same time, I think there's a ways and means to do it. But how else do you voice it because you're only going to see them in them sort of circumstances. I mean, if you shouted, "Gosh, you weren't very good today," I don't know how impactful it is.
I've always said, that I think you're more than entitled to have your opinion and say on the game and a player's performance because we're using our hard-earned money that we work hard for to go and watch these teams and pay for a ticket. And it's not cheap now, no matter who you support. So I think you're more than entitled to do that and criticise like performances and stuff. I don't think
isn't it?
It is tricky because I feel like you're more than entitled to air out your frustrations, but something like that, especially straight after where like it's all like your emotions are flying high and things like that. And obviously players are as well. It is really hard, isn't it, to kind of, because
it is. I mean, I've only seen bits of the video, and the things that I've seen, they were shouting stuff like it without using the same sort of graphic language, but things like, you know, you're taking the mick for, you know, £80,000 a week. That was poo, and you know, fecal expressions and all of that jazz. But I think the points that they were sort of making, I don't think we're massively out. And I don't know. I mean, Rebecca, as an Everton fan, do you think the points that they were making of, you know, you paid all this money, the least you can do is put some effort in? Do you think that was reactionary, or do you think the players aren't putting the effort in that warrants it?
Yeah. I feel as though like ticket prices at Everton, like you're paying, I know that at home matches, I think it's like 55 and even higher, and then it's to go and watch your team play like we did against Tottenham we're getting one shot on target. There isn't anything that's working for us, and it just looks like they're going through the motions, which isn't what you can do. So it is one of them. I think the fans are within every right to have their opinion, but as like we said, there is a way of going about it. And I feel as though standing at a train station as the players are walking past, it's not great at the moment. It hasn't been for a while with everything going on behind the scenes, but we can't start turning on them. It's like no matter what, you support them. And I mean, if like we're booing in the ground, then like that's what some fans are going to choose. But I don't think personally standing there, and there were a few that were singled out within it, which I just don't think is right, especially when like you've got the new lads walking past. They've come to Everton with the thought of, all right, it's Everton, it's a great team, great supporters. So then have that at a train station, it's just keep it in the ground. It's like it is an odd one, but it's just we need to stick together at the end of the day because it can just make things worse.
I mean, and Jen saying you can think you've been angry and upset that you spent your money, but again, it's only two games. And still saying most Evertonians didn't expect the result, but they expect a performance, as Rebecca implied. There's a way to lose a game. And I mean, but Treaty, check this out. Everton won't go down. The Deutsch Masterclass is incoming. She's got faith. And faith as small as a mustard seed can move mountains, you know.
I hope it is right. I think, as I've just said, we just need to make them changes. Doncaster, I think, will be a massive turning point for us. I know it's a League Two side, but to get a win, to get the fans back on board, he's now got the chance to play the new lads in O'Brien and Lynsham, because they were like two of our standouts in pre-season. Yeah, again, it's pre-season, but it's still one of them. We can get the fans back, make the changes we need. If we need to play Roman Dixon again, then at least he's got another match to try and get up to the level that we need him to be. And it is a hard one, but yeah, Doncaster will be a good turning point for us if he makes the changes that we all want him to.
Well, still saying if history tells you anything, Everton don't do football outside the top flight. You'll be fine. I didn't realise we had so many Everton fans in the chat. I'm feeling dirty now. And Charlotte's getting some love from mine. Hopes you were doing well. Russ is saying Mashiri needs to go. And Judy's saying, don't mind Everton. Don't mind. She just don't mind Everton.
I don't mind Everton.
And so saying Everton fans are everywhere.
Massive.
Like a rash in a brothel. And did you like that one, Charlotte? Just like that. It's amazing where the mind goes to, isn't it? And Sam was helping us out with pronunciation of the United. Mazraoui. But you've got to get all the E's in. Mazraoui. That's where you've got to go. I mean, does anybody want to give any level of appreciation to Spurs? Because I don't, because they're Spurs.
No, I do not.
I thought that they needed that performance, to be fair, because I felt against Leicester. First half, I thought, they're playing it, but then they didn't play that well, did they? And Leicester came into it the second half of that game. So I think they needed that performance. Obviously, Slank is injured already, which has annoyed me because he's in my fantasy team. So that annoyed me. I thought it was going to be a goal machine this season and he's already injured. But yeah, I never know what to think with Spurs because they'll pull out these results, but then the next game they'll have a really awful performance. So I just never know with Spurs. They're quite inconsistent, aren't they? It's like this time last season, we were buzzing off Postecoglou, weren't we? Like Ange Ball and they're doing great. And then
I wasn't, because they'd shat on Liverpool this time last year, if I recall correctly.
Oh, yeah, that was funny, that weren't it?
Oh, yeah. Laugh my tits off, I tell you. It was a hoot.
I'm joking. But yeah, I like Son as well, to be fair. I do
like Son. I got to be honest. Son is the probably the only redeeming feature, I think, of that whole squad.
Everyone says as well, is like the nicest man in football, and you can just tell. Like, he's always smiling. He's just so lovely. I love Son. I want to give Son a hug. Like you want to give Milner a hug.
And do you know what? I bet he'd give a hug. I bet he'd give all of us a hug as well, a big group hug. And he'd smile and he'd appreciate it, and it'd be like a sincere one, not just like, and then, like the wife does with me. Here, come on. If I have to, I'm legally obliged. That's what I've told her. So nobody spoil that. I think Graham said Spurs will always be Spursy. And still saying what the Spurs need to change to get the top 4. That they look good, but just lack that X factor. I can't put my finger on what they need to do. It's just like they're just not built to be better. I just can't figure it out. I mean, I was gonna be a jerk and ask Becky. And what do you think they need to do to be better? But they just pumped you 4-0. So let's. Oh, that's mean. Isn't that mean? That's dreadful, Josh. Sonny's so adorable. Everyone loves Son. Sam's starting to worry for Dyche. You saw someone say that he could write two of the autobiographies for his time at Everton. Saturday was a case of cheers, Son. Rebecca's crying. Yeah, he's mean, isn't he? And Heather saying maybe Solanke, but already injured. He could. I
feel like with Spurs. Do you not feel like with Spurs recently, they've been putting more into like the commercial side of things, which is good. Don't get me wrong, because they're getting money and raising money through that, and then they kind of now trying to buy the players and bring the players in to bring them.
They're all about the dollar bills, though, aren't they? They're all about that. Incidentally, Shah, I just noticed I love your nails.
Oh, thank you.
Look at that! They're lovely.
The little strawberries.
Ah, look at that!
Thank you.
That's effort. That is. I just saw it.
I didn't do it myself. I got them done.
Tell you what, have you got your nails done, Joe?
Yeah. Look at that.
Oh,
lovely, isn't they? I went for the skin sort of.
Oh, what's
the
that?
Nude look.
Yeah,
great.
They're masculine hands there too. I got
they're really not that tiny.
Hands. Yeah, I got little baby hands too. But, I mean, while we're at it, Rebecca, what's your nails looking like? Or you just bite them and tear them off at Everton's football?
Oh no, that's one thing I can't do. I can't pick or bite my nails. It's like if anyone's around me doing them, I tell them off. So mine just stay as they are.
You'd hate me. The reason I've got these gels now is because I have an anxiety thing. I think it's watching Rochdale and supporting Rochdale, where I was constantly like biting my nails. So I've had these done to stop me doing that. So you'd hate me.
It's like we'll be sat downstairs watching football and my dad will be there like biting his nails, and every now and then I'll just look over and stare at him until he stops.
And then you blaze the head on him, butts him. Take that, you bastard. But I mean, talking about fighting and football, Bournemouth won, Newcastle won. I mean, it was an entertaining game for reasons that probably upset Bournemouth fans. But Charlotte, how did that game make you feel?
To be honest, I thought Bournemouth played pretty well. I was quite disappointed with Newcastle because I felt like they never had control over the game at all. And I know Eddie Howe came out in his interview after the game and said exactly the same, where they just weren't going for it or anything. Bournemouth, I thought Bournemouth played like some really excellent football. I thought they were really good on the attack as well. Obviously, the first goal. I tell you who I do really like as well for Bournemouth, Semenyo. I think he's.
How do you say his name now?
I know.
Sing it's it not... to us, Shah.
Semenyo.
Semenyo.
When you're near. No, I do really like him. I think he's absolutely brilliant. I know he's already scored a goal already. But yeah, the first goal, and then obviously Anthony Gordon got the equaliser for Newcastle. I still never thought Newcastle were really in the game. To be fair, I thought they're just lacking something at the moment. I'm fuming as well because I thought, oh, nice one, Isak, he's going to score. He's going to get me goals. He's not even got me any yet. So that's another thing I'm fuming for.
What so an inconsiderate bastard.
Week 2 of fantasy football and I'm already giving up. But yeah, obviously, Joe Linton as well. Is it Joe Linton? They decided to do a nice wrestling move on Neto, Bournemouth's goalkeeper, which I thought, how's he is still on the pitch. I thought that
Do
was
you know-
definitely a red.
And do you know what confused me with that is he got a yellow card, right? So the ref saw it. Right?
Yeah.
The ref acknowledged the fact that he just clotheslined the keeper white
Completely.
But I was like,
Completely.
that's all right. Well, you're like, you naughty little
Exactly.
boy, don't do that again.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, Heather, I think it was rough, said understatement, isn't it? That was, yeah. What was going on there? I mean, Joe, when you were watching that, I mean, did you enjoy a little bit of a clotheslining in football, or did you think that was a bit inappropriate?
It's always good when something amusing happens in a game that isn't sort of action packed to sort of get your piqued interest again. I think that the worst thing to come out of that game is obviously the handball call at the end, isn't it? Like the sleeve thing. We had a similar situation Brighton against Tottenham a couple of seasons ago, where Matoma sort of controlled it with like this part of his body, and the goal was given as a handball, but the ball was like here. So where does the handball rule start? It's just an absolute mess, and you know it wouldn't be the Premier League without PGMOL corrupting the results in some way, shape, or form to favour the team with more money. But yeah, I'll put my tin hat back on. I think.
But do you know, I mean, Graham's saying apparently on Ref Watch today, he said it didn't hit him around the neck, and he was only stopping a quick release. So again, it's correct. I mean,
Wow.
so just bear that in mind. As long as you're just like slamming him like around the midsection,
Yeah.
just to stop the goal, you just wipe out goalies. Now there we are. Permission given.
Wow.
That's so I would say it's more around the shoulder than the neck. So a yellow card is correct. I mean, I don't get that. I don't get that at all. So I'm saying Ref Watch is broken. Get a new watch, you plums. Yeah, I think that's okay. So physical violence is good to go as long as you're just preventing a quick release.
Some of the decisions that Bournemouth have had against him already, though, is shocking. And you think it's these decisions and stuff like that are the ones that could cost in the end. Especially, I'm not going to say for a low side or anything, Bournemouth, because I think they do play well, but say that they were in like a struggle at any point. These are the decisions that, I'm sorry, they really cost them.
And Irola was very unhappy with the offside goal at the end. I did. He wasn't particularly enamoured with that either. And I would say the week before they had a goal knocked off offside because you can score with your shoulder. And this week you're not allowed to score.
So
with
inconsistent.
Yeah, but you know, but
you can clothesline a goalkeeper. You can do that. But you can't score with your shoulder.
Yeah, can't score with the shoulder. You can wallop someone with it.
I know.
Are they still going with like the sleeve rule, where as long as it's like above the sleeve, it's fine, or have they changed it again? Because it hits his shoulder clearly. It's like other season for us. I think Michael Keane handballed it, and he's walking around going, "It hit me here." Like, yeah, that's your arm, Keane. You're not arguing out normal there. And it's like it's his shoulder. It was clear that. It's annoying.
It's bizarre. And it was a bizarre game. Not a solid start for Newcastle so far this evening. I mean, a plucky 1-0 win followed by a draw with the performance wasn't brilliant. But we shall see.
I'm going to throw it out here. I reckon Eddie Howe will get sacked this season. I don't want him to. I really like Eddie Howe. You know how much I like Eddie Howe, but I've just got a feeling he'll end up getting sacked this season because I feel like already a lot of Newcastle fans are getting frustrated with him. They were last season as well. And I don't think he could take them to the next level as much as I love him. And I just think it's written in the stars for him to get sacked and then become England manager. But I don't know if that's just me hoping for that.
And you know what? I will just say for any long-term viewers of the podcast, we've been on about 2 years, I think, next month or October even. Charlotte predicted Brendan Rodgers sacking, if you remember, about 9 months before it happened. I think every week, can you remember?
That's because I said it every week until it happened. It wasn't me predicting. I was just like, I was manifesting it.
So this could be the season for Eddie Howe. AFC Bournemouth Germany. So remember, Bournemouth ended up going down a few seasons ago because Hawkeye failed to work, and I think it was an Aston Villa game against Sheffield United. And Silk saying it's about being in line with the armpit, I believe, which is a bit odd. I don't get it. Graham was saying the ice of the kick with Joe Linton and said it was the Bournemouth coach getting sent off.
I know, and no one knew we were getting sent off for ages, and he was like, "What, me?"
Yes, because a player on the opposite field just wiped out one of your players. I mean, Shah and Rebecca then. So Eddie Howe or Sean Dyche? Who's going first? Shah? Who's going first? Dyche or Howe?
Well, I've got a little bit of a... I reckon Sean Dyche will end up going. I don't know if he'll get sacked or he'll get frustrated. And I just think David Moyes will end up going back to Everton.
Oh, I mean, Rebecca, Howe going first or Dyche? And would you want a bit of Moisey back?
I reckon it will be Dyche going first. If you look at the history of Everton's managers, I think I'm 20 and I've seen like 9-10 managers at this point I can name. So it's one of them. I think we like sacking managers. So I think Dyche will be the first one. I wouldn't mind Moyes back at Everton. I mean, anyone that can just get Everton to be Everton, I'm happy with. I mean, let's not go down in our final season at Goodison. I think that's all we want.
I mean, and Sam saying the handball rule is absolute piss, and I like this. AFC Birmingham on your England manager comment. Yogi Low is new England manager. Now, isn't he the one that picks his nose and plays with his balls on the side of the pitch?
Then sniffs his hands.
Yeah, I am all for that. That is like the blokiest thing I think you can do is scratch your ass out and then have a little sniff.
Come from Southgate to that.
From like the nice waistcoat to like, bit of nose gold, have a bit of this.
For anybody that's just tuned in, Josh is always like this, yeah.
I'm always scratching my ass, having a little smell. What? Try and guess what I've had for dinner today.
And we wonder why no one wants to come on a Premier League show, Josh, and we're short on numbers.
Oh, I haven't digested that chicken yet. Oh dear. So I said, yeah, not having Yogi Low. Lego haircuts everywhere, waistcoats to bogies. I know. Can you imagine the cleaner? Like, I'm having to hoover up all of this shit now all the time. Anyway, football. What else happened in football? I tell you what did happen. Wolves 2, Chelsea 6. Oh, my hopeful fruit days. Chelsea, I thought, was absolutely in the bin winning the game. I mean, Rebecca, did you catch that? And if you did, how did it make you feel?
Yeah, that was a very entertaining match. I mean, I don't think anyone thought that that you'd have an 8-goal thriller in Wolves and Chelsea, like both teams looking for their first win of the season. But then you had everything that happened the day before with, was it Madueke?
Yeah, that was good, wasn't it?
When he posted on his Instagram saying, Wolverhampton's it's poop.
Go on, you can say it, Rebecca. Good friends, yeah. I don't think your parents are watching this evening. And what we'll do, we'll clip it as you say it and say, look what Rebecca's just said.
Thank you, but like on his story, this is a word perfect, but he said something about Wolves being
shithole. He said it's a shithole. That's what he said. He didn't say Wolves. He said Wolverhampton.
He said,
yes.
Tanked the play. Yeah, I mean, Chelsea got off to a quick start. Jackson got the first one in 2 minutes, I think it was. It's like you just didn't know, because it was like scoring that early, it can go either way. It can either be just a 1-0 for the rest of the 88 minutes, or it can...
That was fast maths then.
It took me a while. Or it can be a goal fest like this one was. Wolves' first, it was an incredible run by Nuri to set up Cunha, I think that's how you say it.
I love him. What a player.
Very good player, very good. It was Wolves did well. I mean, like when they got the equaliser, they then did look like they would get a second, but I think it was just over. It was a glance crossbar, I think it was, for Cunha again, and it was just, you didn't know if there was. Yeah, it did. But then, I mean, Palmer and found himself on the score sheet again.
And what a goal!
Yeah, incredible. Just like hooked it over. So was just in no man's land at that point. It's just like, I'll just go for a little wander. Why not? See what's going on. But very well taken by Palmer. But I didn't really expect it to be 2-2 at half time. But then you're thinking, right, have they used up all their energy at the end of the first half and we're just going to have a nothing second half? But then Chelsea made me eat my words at the end of it. So yeah, it was, I think it was 14 minutes it took him to get his hat trick. And it was just the pure shithousery of him getting that hat trick, which made it even funnier. And then João Felix to then just rub salt in wounds and add a sixth. It was just like, they're just laughing at him at that point. I think it was just, why not score a sixth? But yeah, it was a difficult second half for Wolves. I mean, they're second bottom because they've got a tiny bit of goal difference than us. So you're welcome, Wolves.
And I've been treated saying glad that João Felix got on the score sheet. Hope he does well. I don't like anyone doing well at Chelsea, to be honest, but Treaty's obviously a nicer person than me, which I'm sure you can all attest to. I mean, and Cole Palmer, a goal and 3 assists. Oh my Upper Foot days! Signed a 9-year contract at Chelsea. I mean, Joe, you talked about Brighton doing good business and Chelsea trying, to replicate Brighton by buying everyone from you. But 9-year contract. Do you see that catching on anytime soon?
I don't think so. Obviously, their fortunes have changed with Cole Palmer coming into their football club, and there's no denying what a fantastic footballer he is and how influential he can be on the football pitch. But I think what you've seen from a lot of their players that have been signed on similar deals is a lack of motivation. If you've got that sort of deal, like financial security, you can sit there and just roll up to training, whatever you want to do, and pick up your pay packet for 9 years and just give 50%, just about enough to keep you ticking over and live a very, very nice life. So I don't know if I agree entirely with Chelsea's model, and that's me being polite. I despise Chelsea Football Club probably as much as I despise Crystal Palace. They are an absolute mess, but obviously they have payrolled our way to Europe and payrolled our way to the success.
You've done them good, haven't you?
Exactly that. So we've made some pretty decent money out of them, but yeah, obviously, as I said, there's no denying what an incredible footballer Cole Palmer is. I just wish he didn't have the personality of a cardboard box.
It
really does.
I was thinking, I thought sort of 9 years, because I heard some people saying, well, he should have thought about it more because it'll make it harder for him to move. I think that's bollocks. I think for a footballer, if he wants to move, he's moving. Well, it does. It commits Chelsea to, if he doesn't want to move, they ain't shifting him. And they're tied in. Sure, 9 years, you down with that bag?
No, I think it's quite a dodgy way of doing things, isn't it? I know they did it similar to, was it Mudryk as well? Where was he on an 8-year contract or something when they signed him? I think Cole Palmer is, though. I think he's the main man at Chelsea. And I think he's going to be the superstar of Chelsea and the main guy. So I don't think he was really that at Manchester City, and he didn't really get as much as a chance. So at least at Chelsea, he's kind of securing his future there, and he's the main person. But then in the same rule, if somebody did want to come in for him, like Real Madrid or something like that, I'm not saying that they will, or want someone like, if he does begin to progress more and become a really good player, I'm not saying he's not, but more and more as he grows, if someone at a big stature of that club wants to come in for him, they'll have to pay a lot of money for him as well. So I think that they're securing him in that aspect as well, where if someone did want to come in, they'd get a decent amount of funds for him. But I think Cole Palmer and him at Chelsea at the minute, I think he's just enjoying his time there and his football, which he didn't necessarily get at Manchester City.
Yeah,
but I do think it's mental. Don't get me wrong.
It's bizarre. I mean, Sam saying, how many years can we sign Shard to the podcast? He's lobbying for a lifetime deal. Do you know what? I mean, and Graham's got. So I think with Charlotte, though, she's so nice that even if you wanted to do something, we could just guilt you into saying, "Well, it's not like we'll just start crying and use some emotional blackmail." And Charlotte's just too lovely.
It's true. That is true. That's how I'm on here tonight. Josh started crying and I thought, come on, Josh, come on, don't worry.
I did. I'm angry. I didn't even say words. I just made noises.
Yeah, and I just thought, you know what, he's doing it again. So best do it.
I first thought, oh my God, someone's torturing a squirrel, but no, it was just me, just making sad noises.
I thought your wife could have a nice break from you, so we'll entertain you for a while, us three. We're giving her a break.
And look at this. Sean wants Rebecca as well. Rebecca signed up. Isn't that lovely? See the love. Notice no one's giving a crap about whether I'm saying you for good or not. Thanks a lot.
No wonder after that what you just said before.
Oh, look, Dreety's up for the pay-per-view as well. What is going on? Yeah, I just thanks.
Can I just add though on the Chelsea game? I thought that was actually the best. The second half in particular, I thought that's the best that we've seen Chelsea play for a very long time. I know. I think the problem is with Chelsea, though, I don't think the defence is very good. So I think they're going to leak goals this season. But I think attacking-wise and stuff, and the attacking force that they have got, they will score a lot of goals. So it'll be quite entertaining. But my worry for them is also the defence and how far forward they play. But I think with Cole Palmer, when he's on form, because a lot of the goals I saw, and not just the assists, a lot of the moves for the other goals, it all stemmed and came from Cole Palmer. Some of the positions he got into and things like that. So I think, actually, I was quite harsh on Chelsea in my predictions, but I do think they might do all right this season. I'm kind of taking it back a little bit now.
I still think
disappointed.
I know. I'm sorry, guys, but
it's your Nick saying here, just have 191 years total length on their contract, nearly 100 more than the next club. Wowzers!
They've got a lot of players as well, haven't they?
I think we're bottom for that list. I think ours is on the 49. But then, thinking about it, could you imagine if we signed Ashley Young on a 9-year contract?
Dear God, he'd be 72, wouldn't he? And look, I mean, and Silk's not giving me any love. Not giving me any love at all. And who is it? Sam saying Rebecca on a lifetime, and I'm on pay to play. So I said I have to pay you to come on. This many fans says Lukaku gone. Nope. Graham wants Rebecca to stay until she could at least have a podcast so she can have happy talk. What else we going? And some of the things Josh says, there may not be a podcast soon. It's end up getting cancelled. Don't fear, because everybody will watch Wednesdays and Thursdays. The women's
our show's not much better. It's only for WSL one. That is. Ours is worse than this one.
It's flying the flag for good behaviour. Although Paul gives it a will. And Footy 24 saying, "Watch our big win. Congrats, Shah." Isn't that lovely? And I mean, do you know what? I was going to move off the Premier League now because time is escaping us. But after this abuse of Silk, let's move on. I'm going to want you all to talk about Liverpool 2, Brentford 0, a dominant Liverpool victory again, where we're just kicking people's ass. I mean, Shah, did you catch that game and how did it make you feel?
I did, and to be fair, I thought Liverpool played very, very well. I thought there'd be a slight difference. I know we were speaking off air about the slight change in football and stuff under Slot compared to Klopp. And I just feel like at the minute they've taken to it quite well. I really like Slot. I know he's got no reason to be to be aggressive or anything, his things, but I feel like he comes across as a really calm and composed kind of guy. I don't know if it'll change throughout the season, you know, if games get worse and refereeing decisions get on his nerves more and things like that. But just watching him and everything, he just seems so chilled and relaxed. But Liverpool as a whole, I thought it was a very good performance. I don't think they were ever really in danger. I think there was about 10 minutes at one point where Brentford kind of came into the game, but that was it. And they were never really in danger of
controlled, isn't it?
Yeah, they were just really controlled. Salah as well. I'm always happy to see Mo Salah scoring because he's in my team as well. So I'm always happy to see that goal. Diaz as well. I know there was a few people like asking about Trent, and I know Trent didn't seem very happy that he did come off. I think, was it about 65 minutes or something that he got? But I feel like with Trent Alexander-Arnold as well, he's not really had a pre-season. So maybe it is managing his minutes, yeah. So I can kind of get on board with that as well. But as we were saying as well off air, I feel like with Trent and the way he's playing at the minute is not being caught out as much. And just the way they're playing. But I feel like Liverpool will have a really good season. And I wasn't really sure what to expect with Liverpool because obviously we're so used to Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool playing under Jurgen Klopp. So I thought, will it be a massive change for them? And I know they've only played, was it Ipswich and Brentford? So things could change. Obviously, as they play like the higher teams as well, things could change. But I think at the minute and the way they're playing, they're doing well. And I think they'll have a good season, Liverpool.
And Graham saying he's slotted in well at Liverpool. Yes. And I'm still saying, yeah, but come on, if Liverpool scored another goal, that fella would have won $1 million on the Super Six.
I know.
Bless his heart. And Dreety saying, how did that game make you feel, Josh? Made me feel very sexy and warm inside. It was just beautiful.
Why sexy?
Oh, because
it's just great.
It just affects me. It makes me feel that good that I feel desirable for a moment in the day.
I nearly spat my drink out.
I could see you going for a drink. I was like, here it comes. But it's nice to watch, much more controlled football. As I said, I love Jurgen Klopp. I felt like one of my family, and I would have given anything for the Klopp hug or an ass slap. Anything I would have given for that. But I like the fact that what he's done is the weaknesses always was because we were always so high intensity and pushing up. Players got tired and we had issues with injuries, and you get caught out in the back because all you need is a really good break and we'll get caught out. But what I like is he's just slowed it down, dropped a little bit. I'm coming to that. I know. I mean, let's bring it up. United vs Liverpool next Sunday. Isn't that lovely? Need that like a poo through my letterbox. Yeah, but it's just nice to watch. I think it suits the players well because he hasn't changed the purpose and the type of football which we want to do, which is dominating, attacking football. You just slowed the pace down and made a subtle little changes, and it's quite nice. I mean, Joe, a man who looks vaguely like Arne Slot. I mean, do you like the changes he's implemented at Liverpool?
I mean, before he got appointed as Liverpool manager, I had hair. And when he became Liverpool manager, I wanted to look exactly like him. So
I had hair once upon a time.
Yeah, it's just my hairline. My hairline's like there, so I had to let it go, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, I've got a slight soft spot for Liverpool because you've got Alexis McAllister, and you know he's one of my all-time favourite Brighton players.
He's good, isn't he?
Winning the World Cup at our football club, putting us on the world stage. Lionel Messi commenting on one of our Instagram posts was absolutely unbelievable. And the sheer fact that Lionel Messi might know who Brighton Hove Albion are is just really, really funny. But yeah, Alexis McAllister has given Brighton fans some unbelievable memories. That last-minute penalty against United a couple of seasons ago will live with me forever. So I'm so glad that he's getting to do it on a bigger stage than what Brighton could provide him, and hopefully win a few trophies with you guys.
Yeah, I hope so. I think he's a good. I like the fact he smiles a lot. He's always smiling, and that's nice to see. And his character, I think, matters a lot. And sucks in all seriousness, Liverpool look very good. I'll be interested next week against Man United. And it is, I hate playing United because you never know what United are going to show up against Liverpool. They always fancy a game. It's quite unnerving. But I think I realise I haven't uploaded the slides yet for everything else. So I'm just going to vamp while we do that because I think we've covered off most of the games.
Can I just mention one more thing about the Liverpool game? Who I thought was really, really good. Szoboszlai, I really like him. And I thought yesterday he really did work so hard. And just wanted to give him credit and say his name. I hope I said it right.
It's close enough for me. But,
I do like him.
He was getting grief at the end of last season as well for not performing as well as he did at the start. So yeah, it is good. It is good to see him.
Ran his socks off and worked really, really hard yesterday.
And that's what you want. That's what you need. But I'm hoping these slides are going to process in a minute. But games we didn't touch on, here we are. Games we didn't touch on, we did all of those first three. Crystal Palace lost 2-0 to West Ham United, which made me happy because I'm predicting West Ham to have a good season. And I'm very up and down on Crystal Palace. And Fulham beat Leicester City 2-1. That game happened. Manchester City won at football. Nobody cares. Nobody likes Manchester City.
I thought Ipswich so at the beginning because obviously the guy who scored for them, Sammy Schmodix, he just signed from Blackburn and he's all I've been talking about in the Championship and how good of a player he is, isn't he, Rebecca? We've been talking about him on our EFL show. So, when you feel dead proud of him because you speak about him most weeks. And I thought, are we actually onto something here? And then it just went 1-1, 2-1, 3-1. I was like, oh, yeah, Haaland's he's got the memo.
And one thing we will do, Spenny fan does rightly point out, shout out to Bowen and the other West Ham player for saving the Palace ball boy. The crowd nearly got into some serious trouble. So, well done to them and everybody that dealt with that well. Nottingham Forest beat Southampton 1-0. Well done, Nottingham Forest. And Arsenal beat Aston with a 2-0. Arsenal looking unnervingly good still, and still to say Arsenal winning the Villa is a quality result early on.
David Raya with that save. I don't know if anyone saw it when the shot hit the post and then Ollie Watkins' second shot and then David Raya pulled off this wonder save. His instincts to get there, it was brilliant.
It was that was a nice one.
Yeah.
I can't even get my words out. That was a good one.
It was whoa.
And I think as well, we've got and Treaty said Jared Bowen giving his shirt to the ball boy as well.
I know. I love Jared Bowen.
I think it was one of them. He said, well, he's having my shirt even if he wants it or not.
And Graham's asked, can we do like what I do with League One, where I have a move PSG and a move City from the Premier League?
No, because then if Liverpool end up second, then no.
No, we can do it. We can do it today because Brighton would be top. So,
we can do it today. Yeah.
Can I put my idea forward of we flip it upside down?
Yes.
Hopefully, relegation.
Hopefully the FA will be removing Man City from the Premier League. So fingers crossed with that. But yeah, it's a table that I don't get awfully excited about positions until about the 8th game. But Mr. Luke, by the way, just popping to say hello to his favourites, chilling by the pool bar while having a drink. Perks of being 18. Hopefully everyone is well. Bless your little heart. And Nick is saying in the Nottingham Forest game, Southampton played their forwards as wingers. They were toothless. And that'll serve you right. But at the moment, Man City are top, but Brighton are second because they've scored more goals than Arsenal. So I thought it was going to be in alphabetical order, to be honest with you. But each to their own. I don't mind. I'll let Brighton enjoy being second at the moment. Then Arsenal and Liverpool finishing off the top 4. But again, early doors. It's early doors. No one get too excited just yet. But before we move on to anything else, a bit of news, unfortunately, today, and I think someone touched on it right at the start of the show. It was unfortunately former England manager Sven-Göran Eriksson did pass today, and unfortunately, I'm not an England fan or an Englishman, but he was a great manager, a great guy. He had a lot of character and a lot of personality, managing an England team at the time. that was full of characters and personalities. I think he dealt with well and got some really good performances and did really well for England. I go on if anybody wanted to say anything about Sven, because I mean Sam did message me independently and he mentioned the I'm going to pull it up now, the Germany game. Which one was it now? Oh, what was the Germany game, Sharp? We won the 5-1, which I mean, Emil Heskey scoring goals. I mean, having the balls to play Emil Heskey as an international striker, I absolutely loved. But to get the performances out, the players that he did as well, I thought it was I really liked. And he also said he's the one manager that solved the midfield. Should it be, how do you fit in Scholes, Gerrard and Lampard? And I think the screenshot Sam sent me show you just leave out Lampard, which makes perfect sense to me. Absolutely. I mean, Shah, as an English if you got any thoughts or memories of Sven you wanted to share?
Just him as a whole, like the guy he was as well, not just like the football, but the guy he was. And even when it got released that he was poorly, and obviously it was terminal, just what he's done, like on the lead up to, obviously, unfortunately, his death, and just how inspiring it was, and his journey and things like that. And there's just so many people going through like this illness, and it's so like inspiring, and just what people can take from it. And even my eyes are filling up, bless. But I don't know if any of you saw like his final interview, and he was like, I just want to be remembered for being this happy, positive like guy, and he just wants to be remembered so positively. And just for someone like that, and just everything, and the stories that I know him and David Beckham have met up recently as well and stuff. And David Beckham spent a lot of time with him, you know, his final moments and just the laughs and everything that they've had and things. And he just comes across as like a really like good guy. But even being able to do that with Liverpool as well, when he came out and said, I'm actually a Liverpool fan, I've been a Liverpool fan for so long. And then it managed, was it some game or something? I can't remember exactly the game, but just all of that and just everything that it can take from it. But the way that is inspired people who might be going through this as well, or people whose families might obviously be going through it. And it's so sad, but it's so lovely that obviously people can take that from him and remember him for the right reasons.
And the way that he dealt with it and taking that opportunity to actually put a positive message out,
I know,
is really good. Before we move on, I mean, Joe, did you want to add anything at all?
I mean, he's probably the first England manager I remember. When I was sort of like 8, 9, growing up, you know, watching the team of like Rio Ferdinand, Wayne Rooney, and people like that. The one quote that will always make me smile is when Wayne Rooney got sent off against Portugal, and Sven Goran Eriksson afterwards to the press says, "Do not kill him. He will be your golden boy. You will need Wayne Rooney, so do not kill him." And I think that the messages that have come into him from the players that he's coached, that he's had an impact on, just go to show you how much of an influential guy he was. People might look back on his time at England and say he wasn't successful, he didn't get enough out of those players, but the comments tell you different. And that was a toxic period of England anyway. I think any manager in world football that was there wouldn't have got anything out of them either, because the English press are what the English press are. Obviously, they slated him so much back then, but now they're calling him a legend. So it's unbelievable. You know, the press are disgusting. I just want to know him as the England manager that made me fall in love with international football.
And Rebecca, before we move on, anything you want to add? Because you're a little bit younger than all of us. I'm not sure if you would have any memories of Sven as England manager.
No, but it's like the stories that you get told and that you've heard, and it's like, I think everything that Charlotte said about how much of an like inspiration he is, and like to be able to share like his story of what he's been through and everything, a lot of people will be able to like look back on him and think like, just keep smiling through it all. I think is like one of the biggest things.
I mean, the Spenny fan brought up the start, Sven-Goran Eriksson, but also Sid Vicious. If anybody watched WWE back in the 90s, Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid, apparently he's also passed away. I'm devastated. He also he passed away from cancer. That is what a sad day, because he was another person, just what a legend. You should check out some of his promos. If you're into wrestling at all, look up Sid Vicious promos on YouTube. What a hoot, what a legend. And I think also someone put in here about Sven walked away from Notts County with nothing, despite being lots of money, because of the impact it would have on Notts County.
That is true.
And what a man. So our thoughts and prayers with Sven's family at this time. And thank you, Sven, for all the memories. And what we're going to do, we're going to whiz through European football because it's still early days. My interest levels haven't peaked enough for me to be actively looking into anything at the moment. And the people that we're going to talk about European football aren't here with us. They dropped us in it, unfortunately. So La Liga at the moment. Celta Vigo are top of the league. Real Madrid, as we mentioned, Jude Bellingham's out injured. Also, Mbappe is not scoring goals. In fact, Mbappe is being poo at the moment. Not very good performances for Real Madrid. Who would have thought, playing so many years at PSG, the team that are far beyond every other team, you don't have to actually try, would damage your ability, potential, you would struggle to adapt to a real football league. Who would have thought that was a mistake that he made? Everyone in football, that too. But he's struggling at the moment. Real Madrid, I think they drew their first game with a man sent off as well, but they did win 3-0 against Real Valladolid. Any interesting results at the moment? No, not really. There's nothing that exciting. As you can see, at the time I was putting this table together, Atletico were playing yours and my Girona. What happened in that game? I don't know. Who knows? I'm sure there was a result at the end of the game. I'll have a quick look. I won't be lazy.
Atletico won 3-0.
There you go. And was there any goals by a young laddie from Chelsea? Is he in the club yet?
I think he made a substitute appearance, but I'm not sure.
It's Conor Gallagher. He did. He come on as a sub. Didn't do anything exciting. But Antoine Griezmann scored. I didn't know he was still playing football. He's another one who's probably about 52 years old now. And Koke scored. And Marcus Llorente. All the names at Atletico. And anything else exciting? Not at this stage. It's just too early. It's just too early in the days. And Samson Bellham injured. He needs a break. He does. And Graves asking, are we going to get a Dundee or possible Aberdeen report? Who knows? Just hang on, though. Hang on. I'll mess up which team Rebecca supports in a little bit. Don't you worry. Don't despair anybody. Syria and Charlotte. Look who's sitting at the bottom.
Is it Lecker?
It is. It's the national grid.
I'm never going to live that down, Emma. I need an advert. Like, if any electrical companies or anything are watching this right now, please come and I will do an advert for you. I will.
OVO, EDF, and he goes, get a Lecker. Yeah, she'll do that. She'll do that. I mean, and the league's looking very similar to how it ended in the Inter top at the moment. I think Scott McTominay is linked to. Is it Napoli? He's linked to at the moment, and which they're not having a good time. The manager's having a bit of a meltdown apparently.
That's why I need him.
Yeah, if you need Scott McTominay, if that is the answer to your needs, you're in some trouble. I'll tell you that for free.
Front light video at Scotland. He'll bag your goals there.
Just bang him up top. But what a move from Manchester to Napoli. What a quality of lifestyle upgrade. That's just that is just that's like the opposite of going from Brighton to Chelsea in it, Joe. That's the exact opposite.
Yeah, we've got a player that might be going to Napoli as well, Billy Gilmore. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Yeah.
That'd be sad.
No. He was unbelievable on Saturday as well. So if that was his goodbye, then thank you.
Well, we hope not, because I like Billy Gilmore. So we'll see. We shall see what happens. But Syria are meant to be covered by someone else. So I don't know what happened because I haven't looked. Over in the Bundesliga, only one game. We're only one game in, and never Leverkusen, never lose accusing the most handsomest manager in all of football, the beautiful Xabi Alonso. Just again starting as he ended last season by battling through games and
You've obviously not watched Luton recently, then. The most handsomest manager in football.
Oh, well, you know. I can't hold people who aren't Welsh to the same standard as us, can I? You know, that's just not fair. It's just not fair. But I mean, they won 3-2. Bayern Munich, they won 3-2 as well. So battling through. But Freiburg, a winning game starting off every well. But Heidenheim has won a game, so they're doing better than last season. Hopefully, we'll see a bit more from Heidenheim because it's a fun name to say. If when we cover it properly, a little bit of Heidenheim, they did very well. Well done. But I'm not going to get too excited. One game in, who cares at the moment? Not me. Moving over to the SPFL. Rebecca, I can't remember. Is it Aberdeen or Dundee or Doncaster or
Doncaster.
Who is it? Who is it? Who is your team? They're up north, isn't they? They could be.
Dundee. It's a very random one, but they got a 2-2 draw against Hibs.
Well, do you know, I haven't got all the games, where these games come from. I'm looking at it now, thinking, Jesus Christ, is this a different league? It might be a different league I've got these results from. Doesn't look the same to me. But tell us, educate us, Rebecca, what happened?
So it was a 2-2 draw for Dundee against Hibs. It was a frustrating match for Dundee, especially the second half. It was quite a slow start, but Dundee took the lead with Scott Tiffany, who claimed his second goal of the season. Lyle Cameron, who has been a standout so far for Dundee, and he was last season, he did have a goal. Yeah. He did have a goal ruled offside, which... It's been a bit of an odd one because I think it was a case of it's deflected off a player who was walking back. So it is offside, but there's been a lot of arguments as to whether it was or not. But Hibs did equalise on the stroke of half-time with a very, very good free kick from Martin Boyle, I think he's called. Hibs took the lead in the 72nd minute, and then it was just nothing seemed to work proper for Dundee in the second half, but they did have a late strike from Simon Murray in the 88th minute to secure a late point.
I'd agree with it. It's all Scotland. It's all Scotland, yeah. They're all Scottish teams. You might as well add them in.
I do have the results of the others, though, if you want me to mention them.
Oh, go on then. Just quickly just bang it out.
So the other Dundee won against St Johnstone 2-0. Rangers absolutely thrashed Ross County 6-0. 2 braces from Cyril Dessers, Robin Matondo, and goals from Tom Lawrence and Danilo. And then St Mirren 0, Celtic 3. Aberdeen 2, Kilmarnock 0, and Motherwell 3, Hearts 1, and Big Lawrence Shankland did get an assist. He got an assist despite them losing 3-1.
Oh, Big Shanks. I think there we are. Sam's having a bit of Big Shanks. Big Shanks? Big Shanks.
Yes, assist.
Don't you worry. Boom. And Ever the Views, eh? Now, I again, just it's a fun league to talk about because the names are marvelous. Because you'll notice, unfortunately, Warwick near the bottom there. But PSV still at the top, 15 goals in 3 games. Started the league as they finished last season, where they were banging like 874 goals. It's 15 goals in 3 games already, only conceding 3, so a goal difference of 12. After 3 games. What is going on with PSV? But we'll get more excited when more games have happened. But a 7-1 thrashing of Almere City FC. 7-1. I think the first game was like 5-something. Just goals for days. If you like a little bit of goal scoring, PSV is the team for you. And we was Feyenoord missing Arne Slot. 6th position, only 1 win in 3 games. That's sad. And but Sam's giving the big Shanks baby. They call him Grande Shankos in Spain. Sean's big lamb Shanks. And Spenny Fan Chris is easy league for PS3. Easy days. And the league that no one cares about because it's been destroyed by PSG, who have taken a good, exciting, entertaining league and just chat all over it by plundering too much money into it and creating a massively unfair advantage to PSG. They're winning games. They're still at the top. They've lost like one of the best footballers in the world, Mbappe, and it makes no difference because they've broken the league. So shame on you, PSG. But that brings us to the end. We're done. We'll have, as Europe gets more exciting and the people who are meant to talk about it actually appear here, we shall cover it off a little bit more. Sam was saying league, breast at the bottom, autonomy. I can't say the word now. Can you say it, Shah?
Anatomy.
There you go. Look at that. The day
it's
that
bad
Charlotte
when you
gets
come
the
in.
word
It's
right.
bad when you come into me for pronunciation.
Oh my days!
Bloody hell.
I know what is going on. But everybody that's been with us, thank you all. If anybody's catching up later who normally watch on Twitter, I do apologize. I don't know what's going on. Why it's not working. So I do apologize for all of you here who have persevered. Thank you very much. And Charlotte, people are going to want more Shah. Where can they get more Shah?
I am on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I am SharXRAFC. My Her Game 2 stuff is Rochdale HGT. And of course, you can catch me on Thursday in our lower league show. It was a double game week for National League. I've got the EFL results to go through, and it is the EFL Cup. So there's a lot of football to go through.
Oh, my Opal Foot days. So just join it, just for the moral support and to keep it awake.
Do. Get me through it.
It's going to be a long haul. Rebecca, the queen of the underscore. Where can people find you?
You can find me here. Underscore Rebecca, underscore short, underscore. Don't know why I did that many when I made it. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter and TikTok. And then you can find my Her Game 2 content at ASFC Her Game 2. If you want to come and join the madness of Formula 1, 2 and 3, then it is Girls in the Grandstand with the amazing Jen. And we are filming this week for what was a very exciting race on Sunday. And yeah, just a bit of everything.
I think you say Rebecca disappointing so effortlessly. And she does. And just so everybody knows, when she says you can find me here, she's pointing at her handle, not her bedroom. That is not an invitation. All right, just before anyone gets confused, that ain't her bag. Okay, so stay out, bitches. But we were very blessed, very pleased, and so lucky and fortunate to have Joe with us this evening. Joe, thank you for joining us. And where can people find you if they want more of those silky smooth points on a well-run club?
Well, yeah. People can find me at SayersBHFC on Twitter. And if you want to follow all things Albion, I am part of the Albion Obsessed podcast. And that's at Albion Obsessed. We're on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and all that good stuff. So yeah, thanks for having me, guys, and hopefully back again to talk about more Albion shenanigans.
Oh, and it's always a good time to talk about a bit of Albion, but it's a team that we've wanted to be able to have somebody on for quite a while, so we do appreciate you joining us. But of course, as always, if you are following us and you're here on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything, and you'll feel like a better person for it. You'll sleep better. Things will start to go right for you in life. You know, that date that you've always wanted will say yes. That job that you want will happen. The money that you want to flow into your life, all because you've subscribed to the Absolute Football Podcast.
I'm going to resubscribe.
Yeah, so just do it. Just subscribe. And Spenny Fans as well. He's subbed as well for you there already, Joe. But if you are following us, we're on Twitter at Absolute Ball Pod, YouTube and Twitter at Absolute Football Podcast, and on the TikTok boom, Absolute Football Pod, and Instagram and Threads is Absolute Football Podcast _ and Facebook the Absolute Football Podcast. On Mondays, Premier League and European football at 8:30. On Wednesdays, join #Team Chaos as they cover all things women's football at 8:30, and on a Thursday, the Rowdy Wabble, headed up by Charlotte, at 8:30, covering every single football league
Ever.
outside of the Premier League. So if you've got about 12 hours, that is the podcast for you. But thank you, everybody, for joining us. We very much appreciate it. Remember, God loves you, Charlotte loves you, Rebecca loves you, Joe loves you, and I need to make sure that you don't put washing up liquid in your car windscreen wipers. Have a very pleasant evening, TTFN, and ta-ta for now.